Radio. My name is Tebeth Hamon, and I'm excited here today. We've got our guest today, Barry Auchettl from TheVisionSchool.org, and Barry's going to be clearing blocks around money while we're going through COVID. So I'm sure we've all felt challenged by that in many ways. So Barry's going to use me as a guinea pig, but using me, it will also be of great benefit to everyone else. It'll just transfer across to everyone else. So, and if anyone's in the chat room, we will also be able to see different things there. So hopefully, so sorry about that. We just lost the chat room again. Never mind. So it's going to be a great show, actually. So welcome, Barry. I mean, Barry, you've been you've been doing a lot of work for a lot of years. You're a visionary educator. You are a creator of the Conversations, the inspirational game, which is amazing. And you've written several books. And I'm having to read, like Barry's done so many things. I've had sort of have to read and remember them all. You can help people clear their eye vision. And of course, that goes on a much deeper level. So you've written about the eyes, my eyes. You've written on the scan charts, and I know there's more, and One Vision. And a lot of this, Barry tells me he's done over half of this during COVID. So who says you can't make money and go forward during a pandemic, something like that? So welcome, Barry.
Thanks to Beth. I think you left out, it sounds like I have been fairly busy. The other thing we did last year is we released a movie, international movie as well. So we've been sort of busy along the way. So we've had a bestseller Amazon book and a movie released within months of each other. So that was a busy time.
It was. I mean, yeah, it's like your creativity and what your output is quite massive, actually. It is inspiring. But, you know, today the topic is, you know, we all got so many limiting beliefs around money generally, but particularly when this sort of thing happens, how can we move forward with that?
Yep. I want to comment two things. First of all, I'm known as the blockbuster. That's how people are referred to me now as. So, and the blockbuster was a term that was given to me because I literally get to not only identify what are the blocks. There's a lot of causes, a lot of people out there will identify these are the issues. Yes. And what I found frustrating is I'd go and do these causes and I still have these issues. You know, like identifying is one thing. I think what's even more important is we actually use energy and we clear these blocks. And I can clear these really quickly through a technique that I'm going to demonstrate on your show today. That's the first thing. The second thing we gain in COVID, when we're going to be looking at COVID, I want to be aware that everyone's experience of COVID is very different. Right? So, you know, here in Australia, we've been relatively lucky. We've had really relatively low numbers. We haven't had, you know, major lockdowns other than in Victoria, but where I am in Queensland, you know, I think we've had 2 days of 3-day lockdowns for the year, you know, so it hasn't been over disruptive. And so my experience of this is going to be very different than if you're in America and you've been locked down for months or things like that. And certainly people in India now would be having a very different experience of COVID. So, you know, people often, and it's quite a passionate topic, I recognize. People are very, you know, pro this or anti this, and there seems to be this extreme going on. And I think it's really important to recognize when we talk, you know, COVID and things like that, it is very much a process. It depends on where you are in it. If you've just lost your job because of COVID, it's very different than an entrepreneur who's picked up, doubled their business like myself because of COVID. And
exactly.
So
and
everyone's going to have their own experiences. Yeah,
exactly. And trying to see out of a place where you're in a really hard place is not always easy, but there's got to be a way for all of us we've got to adapt somehow. Nothing's going to go back the same way it was. That's the thing.
And I agree with you. It is about our ability to adapt and our ability to change and transform. Like that is crucial, and it has to start with our mindset. But I just want to acknowledge, that some people are doing it really hard at the moment, and some people have had a lot of loss at the moment, both in terms of people lost, people may be dying, it may be in terms of financial loss, it may be in terms of loss of who they are, the identity of who I am has been
Yeah,
lost. So it's going to be a tricky topic that we're going to cover, but together what we want to do is hopefully, no matter where you're at, is shine some light down the other end for you. And that's what we're hoping to do here.
definitely. Yes. I mean, there's been such a roll-on effect, and the change and the how it's what it's created in every aspect of lives we have seen at the beginning. So, we're all dealing with that in itself, and then making a living and surviving, that's a big thing. Brings up all our
Yeah.
survival issues.
Yeah, plus it's gone on so long. Like I know when it came out, I thought it was only going to be, like, oh, this is annoying. It's going to be a couple of months, and then we'll go back. And as it drags on, that our ability to be robust in this changes. Like I love to travel. It's like, okay, I can stay home for a few months, and then after a while, it's like, oh, I really want to travel again. So it's looking at
Yeah,
how can we do this, and how can we do it the best possible way.
definitely. Yeah. Well, yeah, we don't know how long it's going to go on. So again, there's that adapting of strategies of work, or how you can create money. Um, and I feel it's a strong part of bringing our creativity forward in some way. We're all born with a creative nature, and
Yep.
it's somehow bringing that forward, even if you don't think it's there. We are all born with it, but it's not nurtured in enough, I don't think, as we're growing up. Uh, so I feel that's a strong part of it also.
Totally agree with you. And I know you want to look at this, how do we clear blocks around money during this time, and, creating money and things like that. And I'd love to really get started with you that, because it's such a big
Okay.
topic.
It is a big
I
topic.
really
Yep.
want to dive into it with you.
Okay.
So just let people know the way that I work is I do two things. And I guess what I would probably call this is intuitive kinesiology. That would be my term of describing it, using a technique that I call light body alignment, which is really just shifting energy within people. And because we're shifting energy, every time I correct something, I actually have the intent that this energy will be corrected beyond space and time. So not only am I going to be working with Tebeth, I'm going to be working with everyone who's listening live and everyone who's listening to this recording. So everyone gets, and myself, I get the benefit of this as well. So we're all in this together, clearing this energy. And I literally get emails every day from people who say, thank you for one of the clear blocks programs that might be on the Vision School, because I've actually just made this big shift. And it might be a program that I did 2 years ago. And so what's really great is it enables me to have an impact on the world without physically having to see every person.
Yes, I can certainly attest to this working. It's been used on myself and many other people that I've seen also, and definitely does work, for sure.
So it may
Feel it
feel a little bit
happening.
strange, and for some people, there's the old stories of how can it be this easy? How can it be this quick? I've had this issue for years. How can it just go? Well, I just want people to be open to the possibility that this can be this easy and it can just go. And that maybe today could be the change of your entire life. Think about that this could be the change for some people of everything in their life, particularly around money, because it seems to me that money is like, I'd love to go and do this spiritual course, but I don't have any money. Or I'd like to go and do this, but I don't have any money. I like to be in a deeper relationship, but we don't even have money to go and see a counsellor.
Yes.
It really gets some core aspects of when money is an issue, it generally throws everything else out of kilter. And I'm talking about that from experience, because I know what it's like because I've been there.
Yeah, me too. Totally.
Yeah.
Do you know that? Oh, just before we go on, I have to do some housekeeping. I've got here at Angel Heart Radio, our programs are not to be used instead of or in place any legal, medical advice whatsoever. You're here to use your own sound judgment. All right, Barry.
What great advice. I mean, take personal responsibility. Isn't that what we're really
Right.
saying to people? You know, and I just love programs like this that encourage people to take personal responsibility, you know.
Very important.
And so that's really is important. All right. I've got some statements. I've got a whole lot of statements. We're just going to feel into them. The way I'll do is I'll feel into them as we go and what's needed. And
Okay.
the first statement I want to give you, it's actually really important. And you might think, what's this got to do with money and whatever? But I just feel like there's going to be connections here. So we're just going to trust what comes up. And as Tebeth said, I've actually done a whole series of books. And one of them, for example, is a book called The Scan Charts, which is, you know, a whole lot of different topics and lists and stuff like that. Now, having done that, most of it just pops up in my head now when I need it. And so I already have the verse statement for us. And the statement is, it is safe for me to be successful.
No, I'm laughing because I said something like that to myself the other day, thinking, why, yeah, because I know there's reasons that I'm not putting myself out there as much. So that's funny. That's so true.
Okay. I was actually working with someone this morning and exactly the same thing. I gave them the statement. They just started laughing because literally an hour before they were having an argument, you know, with God virtually about this. And I said, okay, well, we've just brought this up. So, generally people laugh or they can't get the statement out. It's always a clue for me that we're on the right track. So
it is safe for me to be successful. Is that right?
That's the statement. Yeah.
It is safe for me to be. Do you want me to say it
successful.
Again?
It is safe for me to be successful.
It is safe for me to be successful.
Okay. And I actually even changed it just before I gave it to you, by the way. And I did put in the for me part, you know, like it's safe for everyone else to be successful, not just me, you know, like that's what it feels like.
Yes.
And so what does that mean for you? Why do you think that's a stress?
Because I'm a fairly private person. Yeah, it's something very old. And it even goes past life, even. I know that.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to call you on this one. This is a great example. So we're going to get good examples of what's going on here. And with Tebeth, what she's done is she's got into a default process of what used to be. You know, and I'm actually going to suggest that that's actually no longer true for you anymore. That I think you've done enough work on yourself that actually it's just an old story. And like you wouldn't be doing this conversation with me live on air if you're still in that scenario.
No, I think I've broken through some things, but I can still feel it there. I know it's there. And it also there's other areas that I haven't pushed out, and I know it's still sitting there. I'd really like it gone.
Oh, for sure. But I just want people to become aware of, you know, your first answer may not necessarily be it. Your first answer is sometimes related to old situations of things the way they used to be. And so I'm going to encourage people to drop in and go, is that really it? Or is there even something else underneath that? All right. And for you, one of the things I keep getting, and it's the same that this sits with you, is that there are two things here. One is a comparison to others. All right. And it's also associated with how can I be successful, especially during a time when so many people are suffering?
Yeah, I haven't thought of that. That wasn't really that conscious. Yeah.
No. But just think about this. You know, think if you're out there and you're really successful, when all these people are having, you know, losing jobs and closing their businesses, and you go, well, everyone, I'm the most successful I ever been, which is actually my case, by the way. So I've got to be careful how I say that sometimes. But it also has, you know, this is about where we need to be sensitive with this. At the same time, I don't want to play myself down in order for other people to feel better. In actual
Yes,
fact, I want to encourage other people that they can do well during this time. That, use me as an example. That if you can do it, then anyone can do it, because it's just me. Like, if I can get successful
exactly.
during this time,
Yes,
anyone can.
definitely. Yeah.
All right. So, and the final thing I want to say about this, it feels like there's also a little bit of guilt that comes in there as a result. So, and it's not just you, but because I'm using you as an example for
Yeah.
everyone who's listening at
Yeah.
the moment, I'm sort of picking up that there is some aspects of guilt that, how, I feel guilty if I was successful now. It wouldn't be fair if I was successful while everyone else is suffering.
Yes, it's like sometimes you see the excess and you think, associate being successful maybe with excess of people's superficial or
Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
And I want to flip it around. And I was telling someone this morning about making money, and we're actually talking about this same conversation. So it's interesting it came up. And we're talking about this idea that if I'm really successful and make a lot of money, that money is going to support people around me, because I'm not just going to sit with them. I'm going to spend. I might buy this, I might buy that. And it actually starts to help the economy, and it has a multiplying
yeah,
effect. It helps
yeah.
shops and things like that, right?
Mm,
If I sit here, all right, and go, okay, look, I don't want to be sort of feeling guilty because I'm going to have all this money, I'm going to be helping people. So I'm just going to sort of play small and become small here. All right. And as I become small, that means I'm not going to spend any money because I'm going to be thrifty now.
yeah,
All right. How many people is that actually helping?
yes. No one.
No one. Not even helping me. I'm just feeling small. I can feel it sort of contracting as I do that. All right. So as I expand myself, it actually directly helps other people. Like, people sort of have this idea, if I make money, someone else is going to miss out. But if I
Yeah,
generate money, if I create money, not just like swapping money on the share market or stuff like that, but if I genuinely create a service that actually creates something,
yes,
that actually expands it not only for myself, it expands it for everyone.
yes. It's letting go of that belief in there's lack, and
Totally.
that's part of it.
Yeah. Letting go of that belief that there is lack. And the belief is that somehow if I have something and someone else misses out, or if I miss out, then they can have it. So the more I miss out, it's almost like the more other people can have. And it doesn't actually work that way. The more I have, the more I'm able to share and help other people in that sharing. How does that
Yes,
feel?
that's I know I know that actually, but there's this it's the old program that draws it back to the other. So there's two things happening, and I
Yeah.
guess that
Yep.
happens
We've
with
got the
everyone.
sabotage program. And this is one of the reasons why we're going to clear this, because I could say to Beth, I want you to say the statement is safe for me to be successful. And the courses out there say, well, say it 100 times until you believe it. And every time you say it, it is safe for me to be successful. In the back of your mind, what's going on? The back of your mind saying, no, I'm not. And you say it 100 times, and your back of your mind's going, no, I'm not, no, I'm not, no, I'm not. I can keep this up all day. And in actual fact, you've ended up with a negative affirmation going on that says, it's safe for me to be successful. No, I'm not. Is the statement. And we actually
Yeah.
affirm that 100 times unless we clear the energy of it. And this is why affirmations, unless we clear it, can actually be detrimental to people. And this is why they get very frustrated. Why isn't this happening? Why aren't I
Yes.
able to make this difference? So I'm going to clear this one here for you now using an energy system called a light body alignment. So people just feel this for yourself. Those who are listening, Beth, you're aware of energy, so you might be able to pick some of this up. So we're just going to clear this here, and you can sort of see even that energy is shifting. Particularly, it's actually the major point there is just underneath your heart. By the way, it was like caught under your heart. It wasn't actually in your heart. By the way, and there's some
Shifting
childhood stuff
energy
there
in
to
my
clear off.
body. I can
Yeah.
feel it.
Okay. So can you say for me, please, it is safe for me to be successful?
It's safe for me to be successful.
How does that feel?
Good. Yeah, it felt different.
Yeah. If holding really strong, when I'm muscle testing that and I can hear that, it feels different.
Right.
So before we can be successful post-COVID, during COVID, whatever it is now we're talking about, I guess, before we can be successful, we've got to believe that it's safe to be successful. Otherwise, you're going to have all these things happen that block us. And it'd be like, oh, I seem to get blocked at every turn. Yes, you've created that. All right. How's that
Yeah,
feel?
it's good. Yeah, it feels good.
Okay.
Yeah, I can feel different sense.
All right. So any questions about that? Any comments?
I've accidentally lost the chat, unfortunately. I don't know where it went. Hold on. Go. Oh, go. I've got Suzanne and Jenny Laws and Suzanne Hampson. Hi, girls. Suzanne said spot on with the guilt of being successful. So she obviously, Suze is a practitioner, and yeah, she is that also. So I know there's so many people out there feel the same.
Yeah.
Especially when we're hearing stories all over the world of how bad things are in different areas.
Totally.
Yeah.
So if anyone has recognizes as we're doing this in the chat room, they're listening live, if they know of something that's blocking them or they've been told of an issue that's blocking them, I'm actually happy to actually clear it for them today.
Yeah, so please, I've got the chat open now, yay. So please, yeah, send a message in. Love to hear it.
And if you want
Love to
something
hear what's
clear
happening.
and you're thinking this has been my block, then I'm actually sure that you won't be the only person. So
Yeah,
this is a
definitely.
great opportunity to clear. All right.
Do it live.
So,
do it now. Come on.
and we're going to use Tebeth, so you won't even have to come on live, Tebeth. So
That's
you
all
don't have
right.
to come and do this as well. So, all right. Are we ready to do another one, do you think?
Okay, yeah,
One.
let's go for it.
Okay. We're really doing some super statements here today. And so the next statement I've got for you is, I choose to attract money more easily.
Okay. I choose to attract money more easily.
Okay, so we've got some
I
good
can
ones
see
here
the smile on your
today,
face. Yep. I really want to do that.
I really want to do that. Okay. So do you think that's actually happening at the moment in your life?
Not yet. No, not as
Not
yet.
yet. Okay, that's fair enough comment. Okay. So what would happen in your life if you could attract money more easily, do you think?
Oh, be amazing. Life would be very different, and
Yeah.
I would be able to totally focus what I really want to do.
Okay.
On.
Yep. The reality, I'm just going to call this, the reality of this is partly true, right? I'm just going from my experience, right? So people say, look, I want to create more money so that I can just do the exact thing that I'm meant to be doing, all right? What I've learned is by creating more money, it's actually made me busier. Like I've got more clients, I've got more things like that. A lot of that I absolutely love, but there is a busyness can be associated to that,
Yes.
right? And as you said at the start of the show, I've got all these things that I'm creating and things are out there. And for me now, it's about that having that balance between allowing that creative time of doing what I want and allowing the business to expand still. And it's not about doing it without any effort. Like some people, like there's courses out there, like, the law of attraction will say, I'll just sit back and feel good and it'll all happen. Well, sometimes you got to roll your sleeves up and get some work done. Like that's just the reality of it. Now, if it's every day for years, then there's something not working. All right. But it is this sort of, and I equate to it quite often. I've got a course called Clear Blocks to Money Flow in TheVisionSchool.org. And in the Clear Blocks to Money Flow, I refer to this idea of a breath. And a breath means that sometimes we allow money to come in and sometimes we allow money to go out. Sometimes we just breathe and allow life just to be. And sometimes we've got to push a little bit and make things happen.
Yeah.
And it is getting that balance right all the time between that sort of push, pull, in, flow out type stuff.
Mm.
In actual fact, in that course, like we're going to clear 3 or 4 of these in the hour. In that course, we clear over 50 of them. I mean, imagine clearing 50 blocks.
Wow.
So, that's available at the Vision School, but we can talk about that later. I want to clear this first.
Okay. I've just got to, Suze is happy to have some blocks cleared. If there's a particular question she asked you, I think
what I'd love you to do is to either write down what is the biggest block that you know that you have, or if you're really good, what would be the corresponding statement that you would like to be cleared. So even if you just get the block, I can shift it for you.
All right. So Suze, if you can write that in.
For you. So that's the challenge. Okay.
That would be great.
All right, let's come back and focus you. I choose to attract money more easily. So it doesn't get to say it's going to be super easy. I just sit back and here it comes in. Oh, there's a knock at the door. Here's another, guarded van dropping off all this money to me. Like we just want to be having some flow to this. And I want to use the word flow.
Yeah.
How would that feel?
Great. Yeah. Fantastic.
Rather than feeling like I've got to go to work today. I've got to do this. It's the I've got to goes, oh my goodness, that just feels heavy just even thinking about that,
Yes.
And so I was in a position on Friday, I had all this work to do on Friday afternoon and I could feel this energy and I chose to get up and walk away and go, look, I'm actually just going to leave it all. It just doesn't feel like the energy, and to have that freedom to be able to do that rather than I have to stay here and it becomes a slog, that sort of stuff.
It's interesting. Susan brought a question on procrastination, which sort of fits in a little bit with what you're talking about also.
Yeah, actually, I want to do that as the second one. I think that I actually want to separate the two. So one's about making it more easily. One's about, I think, procrastination, about when do we get up and actually do something.
Yes, take action.
And so this actually does become a flow of what we're actually doing. So the third one we're going to be looking at is that. So thank you. I'll write that one down for us. Okay. So I choose to attract money more easily. Can I get you just to say it again for me? I just want to see where the stress is for you.
Sorry, say
the statement, I choose to attract money more easily.
I choose to attract money more easily.
Okay, yeah, it's the more easily is the stress there. So,
yes.
So if you really want to, you're actually able to attract money. You can go out and work harder and get more money. Everything seems to be, it's so interesting these days. Things to be so much is on an hourly basis. Like, how much do you charge per hour? And if you're charging too much per hour, it's like, oh, that's too much. Whatever that is. All right. And people aren't actually saying, what can I get? What value can I get for what you charge?
Yeah.
That with me is a better question. So there are some processes that I do in one of those blocks that we've already done. Traditionally, that might take us 2 sessions to do. Now, the fact that we can do it in a minute, does that make it more or less valuable?
Yes.
And in actual fact, I actually say it's probably more valuable because we've saved ourselves to an hour and 59 minutes of my time, which is still very valuable. So, we could do this over 2 hours. I say, I'm going to charge you 2 hours of my time, or we can clear it in a minute and have the same effect. And so I just want you to start thinking about this idea of the value that you're worth, not how much you're worth per hour.
Yes, it's very good.
Really an interesting approach, all right? And when we can do that, it then, because I know already, Tebeth, you actually offer value in just everything that you do in life.
Thank you.
So I choose to attract money more easily is more associated with value rather than time.
Yes, definitely.
All right. We can increase the value. It's really hard to say, okay, we're going to now start working on a 25-hour day, because it just gets hard and we'll probably get a bit tired after a while.
Maybe.
Maybe. It wouldn't be bad sometimes, but extra hour. All right. Let's clear this for you.
All right.
So again, as I clear this, I get clues as I clear this, what's going on. And this is all, it's actually all on your right side.
I felt it in my throat.
This is alert behavior. All right.
Alert behavior.
learnt behavior that somehow I have to work hard for money. If I don't work hard for money, then I'm either a criminal, I've done something wrong, or I'm cheating the system, I'm a fraud. All those words come up, right?
Isn't that
And
drummed into us? You know, as you're growing up, that society, you've got to work really hard to get anywhere or be successful.
yeah, yeah. Rather than how much value am I offering? You know, think about like the value of how much we pay for a top sports person. Like top sports person might be $1 million plus contract, right? In Australia, in America, it could be tens of millions, right? And a school teacher might get 20 or 30,000 in comparison.
Yeah.
Like there's a big gap, isn't it, between a school teacher and a
Terrible.
sports person?
Yeah.
Okay. Terrible. Why is it terrible?
Only because the teachers, their value is not seen. What they're doing is so valuable, but it's not, what they get isn't equal to what their value is.
Okay. So
That's how I
part
see
of
it.
what the teacher would need to do is increase the value, because there are a lot of teachers out there doing similar stuff, right? So how could you be separate? Whereas the sports person is seen as being something unique, different, etc. Therefore, we're prepared to pay more for it. In actual fact, the amount of people that they're reaching is going to be more than the number of people that a teacher reaches. Like a sports person might have an audience of 1 million people watching that, go, well, look, I'll pay to watch this guy play, or whatever it is. And that's why they can command. A movie star will pay. And I think it is out of balance, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
but the reason
totally.
why we do it is there's a perceived value to this. All right. What I'm suggesting as a teacher, as an entrepreneur, it's creating a perceived value that what you're doing is worth more. Not based on a slick marketing campaign, but based on having true value. Because people will always see what the true value is.
Yeah.
You know, and then what I always try to do is offer above that true value. I always try to say, look, as a bonus, I'm going to give you this. Like we ran a course 2 weeks ago, and I said, look, as a bonus, we're going to do another unit. People didn't even know about when they joined up. You know, just because I want to over deliver.
I wanted to give you feedback. I could feel when you were doing around my throat area. It's interesting. I felt something happen around there.
Yeah. So can you say for me, please, I choose to attract money more easily.
I choose to attract money more easily.
Yeah. Okay. It's just a little bit there still.
Yeah. Okay. Want me to say it again?
No. I'm just going to try to figure out what that is. There's just a hidden bit there that's sort of like you get to a certain point. It feels like you get to this point, and then it's like, yeah, but I want to hang on to this old paradigm, you know? I want you to imagine for a moment what it would be like if we took away all salaries and all hourly salaries, and we actually just paid people by the value that they gave.
Mm.
All right.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
What do you think you would be worth then? Would it be a pay rise or a pay cut, do you think?
Should be, yeah, a pay rise, but I can see there's probably an underlying issue around my own value.
Okay. So you may need to work with that. There's not a lot there, by the way. I think there is actually, you do have a high sense of value. You just don't think you can get it in the marketplace. So part of this is recognizing your value, right, as opposed to your time. And I just want you to focus on that when we do this, right? I want you to allow opportunities to come up to be of value. So, for example, the Scan Chart book, people go and buy the Scan Chart book now. They can just get that from the scancharts.com. There's no time involved with me. That's all done now automatically. People just send the money in, you know, $20 for the book. I get the $20. That's done. A little bit for, you know, the servers and people involved, etc. But the rest of it's just profit. There's no extra time because I've already created a value that shifts beyond space and time by having a product that's there. A product actually is also beyond space and time. I can make money from that book, whether I'm working on it, promoting it, or whether I'm sleeping and someone just comes and buys it straight away. It's the same thing, right? We're moving out of that continuum. I have to work hard for da-da-da-da-da-da-da. All right. I still get excited waking up and seeing the money I've made while I sleep. Like that's fun. It may actually, in actual fact, at the moment, it's still not as much as I make when I'm awake. However, I actually enjoy that part. You know, I've had cases where I've made $10 where I was asleep, and I'm far more excited than my daily pay rate, because it's like, this is just fun, you know. So
Having the fun
that part for you. You going to say?
I'm just saying, it's the fun part in creating something like that.
Yeah. It's a fun part of allowing it then to get out in the world as well.
Yes.
So can you say, I choose to attract money more easily?
I choose to attract money more easily.
Okay. How's that feel?
That felt different. Yeah. Felt more stronger.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. And remember I said at the start, there was like this part underneath your heart still, that you sort of have this sort of hidden little part there that we're sort of pushing out to the world and stuff like that. So I want to look at this procrastination one with you as well that came up from. And was there anything else in the chat room around that? Can you, if you're able to say?
No, just the guilt on being successful and procrastination at this stage.
Okay. So a lot of procrastination, I actually believe, arises because we don't know what to do. Like, I've got this and this and this to do. It's all too much. I won't do anything. You know, and things like that. So, and then if I do all this, I might actually be successful. And that, like, what will that mean? And I'll lose my friends and all that sort of stuff as well. So I want to sort of look at this whole process. And so the first thing I want to do around procrastination, so I want to look at the lose friends component, because that's actually coming up strong. And I want to look at taking, and you mentioned the word before, personal responsibility. So the statement is, I choose to move to a higher level. Okay, can you say that for me, please, Tebeth?
I choose to move to a higher level.
Okay, yeah, okay. So this doesn't matter where you're at, where you think on the scale that you are in terms of how well your business is going, how much money you're getting in. I want everyone to consider choosing to move to a higher level. How would that feel?
Yeah.
Pretty exciting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I just want to share with people why I think this is the case. And I think the key reason why people are not moving to a higher, it's not actually about procrastination, it's a lack of knowledge. And what I came up with was distinguishing between two key words, and I use it all the time in my work, distinguishing between vibration and frequency.
Yeah.
All right. And so I have an entire mentoring program called Life Vision Mentoring. And the Life Vision Mentoring program is really about stepping up, both in terms of your vibration and in terms of frequency. And what we're not told is the difference. And I want to do a quick explanation of that for people, because if we get this, then this is going to help us to step up. So vibration to me, and a lot of people listening, is going to be higher than when your frequency is. Vibration is like your level of consciousness, your level of awareness. And so a lot of people, they start doing all this spiritual work, and they're developing themselves, but they're still broke. Bottom line, like, that's it. Or the relationships are not working and things like that. Like, what's going on? How can we have one here and one here? And people think if I keep then going back and doing more spiritual work, somehow this will be different. All right. Vibration is vibration. All right. What people are saying is, I want to get my frequency going, my law of attraction, my ability to manifest in the outside world. Vibration is internal. frequency is external. So I want to create that frequency of change to create a difference in the external world. And some of that
Brilliant.
is internal. Yes. Some of it is a choice to be out in that world. I want to go and actually offer this thing to people. I want to put it up on a website. I want to finish the book that I've been going to write for 10 years and actually have it out there. So part of the action step is to at least complete. If you've got a product half done, finish it, have it done. A half-done product is not going to sell. I can tell you that now. I haven't seen too many people say, look, I'm going to buy this half-finished car and then I think I'll drive it one day. You know, like people want the finished product, especially number of people who have books that are half done, or it's not finished yet. I need a whole new section for it. That can always be book 2. Even if you've only done 30 pages of the book, put it together now and put it as an ebook out there that people can at least read the ebook with more to come, that sort of idea. So I choose to move to a higher level is actually talking about activating the 90% of unrealized potential that we have, that we're still only tapping into that 10% of potential.
It is amazing. We're all born with a genius in us, but we just don't know. Yeah. We're not aware of it.
Exactly. So I'm just going to, I want to clear this, and then I'm going to actually offer a gift for everyone listening, because I really want people to get this. This is such a big area. So I'm just going to clear it first, so that otherwise chances are you're not going to hear it unless we clear this. They'll be like, no, I just want to stay small again, you know? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I want you to know that you've created all of this as an adult, not as a child. Child, you had big wishes. Like, I really want to be this. I want to be an astronaut. I want to fly to the moon. And then as we get older, it's like, you can't really do that, you know? You can't really do that. And we start getting this squashing down stuff going on. All right. So can you say, I choose to move to a higher level?
I choose to move to a higher level.
Okay, awesome. That feels really strong.
Big, yeah.
All right.
I can feel the energy moving as you were doing it, definitely.
Yeah. So what I'd like to do, just for those people listening, is if you go to TheVisionSchool.org, so TheVisionSchool.org, there's a program there. It's actually my key program in all the programs. I think is the most important one, and it's called the Glass Ceiling Breakthrough Program.
I've just put the website in the chat room, people, and I'll put it on Angel Heart Radio's site also.
And it's the Glass Ceiling Breakthrough Program is the program you're after. Now, that currently is just, all it is $100 US for the program. But what we're going to do today is, if you use a coupon code, Glass Ceiling Gift, all one word, all lowercase, Glass Ceiling Gift, I'm going to gift you that entire program. So there's no excuses for not having it. Now, the only thing is, because you're getting it for free, the temptation is not to listen to it. Right? Because we have this thing, if it's for free, I won't, oh yeah, I'll put it up there and do it later. All right? If you do that, you'll get the results later, which will probably be never when you do it. So unless you want your life to be the same and you're really happy with that, that's fine. If you want your life to change, there are 3 classes. There are just 3 one-hour classes in it. Each one of those actually has a bonus 30 minutes where we go into a little bit further detail, which we did this year. And one of those, for example, is about how to let go of old stories, for example. And then we also put in a bonus class, which looks at life vision mentoring, which actually, for those people live, we actually start next month. And that only happens twice a year. So people who are interested in that, have a look. If you go through the entire course, there's an opportunity of getting a 15-minute free session with myself or one of my coaches. So, you know, all those opportunities are there. Take them up.
Yeah, that's great.
At least find out what your vibration frequency is. Find out what that is and what we can do about it.
I've done it. It's a very interesting program, people. So, yeah, take Barry up on this. It's really get a lot out of it. And has anyone got any feedback? Is anyone out there listening? I'd love to hear any feedback in the chat room.
Any feedback or any questions? Because I'm going to do one more. I'm going to clear one more thing here today.
Okay.
As well, so.
All right. certainly I can feel the shifts happening. Wow. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So what's going on? What are the shifts for you, do you think?
I was feeling the energetic shift of it while you're doing it, but yeah, certainly felt stronger, more solid in saying it and believing it. Yeah, definitely.
And for those people considering doing the mentoring program, this is an investment in yourself. We're talking the other day about investments and what do we invest in? Do we invest in crypto? Do we invest in shares? Do we invest in property? And, do all those things for sure. But one of the things I believe is important is we invest in ourselves. I am prepared to back myself and invest myself. I go and do courses still to invest in myself, as part of my own growth. So I just want to give people, regardless of which course you do, have a look and where are you going to invest in for yourself, for your own development and for your own business to grow.
Oh, Sue says, thanks very much for your generosity, Barry. Sure, Susan will take you up on that. I mean, it is such an important investing in yourself. In the end, there's only us. No matter what happens in our life, it's us. That's all there is. When you leave this place, you don't take any. So only what you feel. So working on all these blocks and creating something, even more amazing, better than you have now, can only, it just makes your life better and happier or productive or whatever. Doesn't want to do that.
Yep.
Putting the time in, that's what it is. It's just not that avoidance thing of dealing with things.
Yeah.
Right.
I want to do one more for
All
you. And based on these other three, I want to, let's just change it. So as I'm tuning in, I'm changing because it keeps changing on me. So I have to get the statement right. So these are not quite prepared beforehand, but we're changing them as we go and coin the energy. And the statement, you're going to laugh at this one as well. Okay. The statement is, you ready for it?
Yep.
I choose to be financially successful.
Yeah, that makes sense. I can choose to be financially successful.
Okay. So again, for people listening, I just want you to recognize how Tebeth sabotaged herself in that statement. Do you know what you did? You actually use, oh yes, I can choose to be successful, financially successful. I know you can choose. Can choose is like, I can choose to fly across the other side of the world tomorrow. It doesn't say I'm actually going to do it. All right. So
you said choose, did you?
I said I choose, and you stuck to the word I can't choose.
I didn't listen properly. There you go.
No, well, again, I've had people literally who've changed the entire statement and made something up. Like it's like, did I say that? I know the accent might be a bit tough for some people, but it's like, come on, I wasn't that far off.
All right, I choose. I'm choosing now.
Okay, so let's just go back to the original statement. I choose to be financially successful.
I choose to be financially successful.
Yeah, that's the one we want to clear. All right. So you're actually close there, actually. All right. And you really get that idea of choosing. I can feel that there's an energy that goes with it, isn't it? Then I could be financially, I could be financially successful. I could be, I may be, I can be one day. Or I choosing this.
Yeah.
It's such an important word. I love that word choosing. It's a really strong word that steps people up. And, if you look at what we did today, we made it safe to be successful. It's safe to be financially successful. It's safe to be out there in the world, number one. We then say, okay, we're going to attract money more easily. We're going to allow money to flow in more easily. But we're also prepared to choose to move to a higher level. And that might mean sometimes you've got to roll our sleeves up. So we get that balance between moving forward. So we've got all that in sync so far. So then the final stage is just choosing to be financially successful. That with getting that out there, what's the benefit of being financially successful? Like, why do you want to be financially successful?
Why?
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, there's so many reasons for myself. And as you said earlier, people you can help, not just
Great.
yourself, but help yourself. Yeah.
Okay. And what I absolutely loved about what you said to Beth, and you're totally correct, it is a two-part reason to be financially successful. All right. And I don't want either themselves are not going to cut it. And you've actually incorporated both. One is for you to be financially successful for you, that you can buy yourself a nice car, live in a nice place, attract things, do courses you want to do, all those sorts of things. All right.
Yes.
So there is that component. And the second component is, as you become more financially successful, you become inspirational for other people to do the same.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
If I can do it, with my mindset, how I was brought up, the things that were planted in there, not blaming my parents at all, but as many people have got, if I can do it, other people can do it. It's definitely.
Okay. So what were some of the things you think that we were taught? Like, let's look at that. What were some of the things that we were taught?
That, yeah, had a poverty consciousness. My parents did.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Most parents do. Like,
yeah.
most scenarios. There's a really cool movie, the original Spider-Man movie that came out.
Right.
And in the Spider-Man movie, there's a famous line that virtually guaranteed this movie to be successful. There's one line in the movie they put in there to guarantee that the movie would be financially successful.
Yeah.
And it's when his uncle's dying. Do you know it?
Oh, I know what you mean, but I
There,
can't
isn't
remember
it?
the actual words.
It was planted into your subconscious, right? And you sort of, most people go, yeah, look, I sort of know what that is. I don't know exactly. And the words are, these uncles die, and there's Peter Parker, who's Spider-Man, over his uncle, who was his mentor, and he's dying. And his final imparting words before he died is, I may be poor, but at least I'm honest.
There's a whole lot, doesn't it?
Right? Let's unpack that for a minute.
Yes.
And so every person in the world who's poor goes, yep, that's me. I'm an honest person and I'm poor. And the people who are not poor, they mustn't be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
And if I become rich, then I lose this integrity and the honesty and who I am. And so why do I want to choose to be financially successful when I may be poor, but at least I'm honest? Shoots out at everyone on the TV screen. It is such this broken sort of thing going on.
Definitely. Yes.
And so we have to recognize that this, I may be poor, at least I'm honest, is an illusion. It's an illusion to keep people poor.
Yeah. Yes.
That's what the illusion is. All right. And people buy into it. That's why it was so successful. My other famous one I often talk about is the biggest movie. What was the Titanic? That was a big movie.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes.
Titanic, you had the two groups of people. You had the poor rascal who was fun, having a great time. He even went downstairs and he's dancing, having a great time. What were the rich people? They're upstairs smoking cigars, absolutely bored out of their brain. That doesn't look like much fun to me. Where would you rather be? I want to be downstairs, right? But what it doesn't tell you is that they were not allowed to go upstairs. The people upstairs could walk downstairs if they wanted to. So there was a choice, and there was a freedom associated with that. So our culture actually supports poverty.
Yes.
Our culture supports poverty. All right. Our guilt supports poverty. Our parents support poverty. And who are we to be surpassing our parents? Because we might feel guilty if we make more money than our parents. We make more money than our friends. We make more money than our partner. All those are going to create issues for us. What if we do start making money? How are people going to see us? Who are you to make all this money? Oh, you're ripping people off now, are you? All that sort of stuff. Oh, you're just charging too much. No, I'm actually providing value for people.
Yes, looking in those terms is very different. There's a very different feel about it. how
Yeah.
you see yourself. And yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And I say for me, it's not how much I charge per hour, and yet I still have to put an hourly rate out there for people to, but it's like, what value can you get in an hour?
Yes.
Right? What
Yeah.
value you can get even listening to this show that we're talking about this, that you might go and do a 10-week course that don't actually clear any of this stuff. And we've actually cleared some of it already.
Yes.
So making a choice to be financially successful, it's going to bring up a lot of stuff. And you might even want to go over and listen to this again, because the temptation is to go back to the way things were, because that's safe, or at least it's known, even if it's not
You
safe.
know it. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's clear this one for you.
Yay.
Okay. And I'm going to say, by the way, out of all the stuff we've done today, that is the least stressful for you. And I think because we've done all the other stuff, we've sort of been clearing this along the way already.
Yeah, I could feel
So,
that in when you were doing it energetically. It's like it didn't need to be strong. It was softer. Yeah, definitely.
so I'll get you to say for me again, please. I choose to be financially successful.
I choose to be financially successful.
Okay. How's that feel?
Good.
Yeah.
Again, strong. Just
Holding
clear.
strong. It's doing really well.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. It's been great. I hope everyone listening is, really tuning into this. And I've got another lady, friend of Susie Kavner. She's saying thank you to you also, Barry. And yeah, it's. I know there's so much more you could talk about. Like you could just keep going.
I'd love to
The
get the
amount of things.
feedback either through Angel Heart Radio or on my Facebook. Look, Facebook can send me a message on Facebook is the quickest way to get something to
Yeah.
me. My Facebook is just Barry Auchettl. So it's BarryAuchettl is my surname. That's Auchettl. And connect with me on Facebook. Let me know how that went for you today. I'm always interested in how things went for people.
Yeah. Wealth of knowledge. And yeah, I'm sure everyone got a lot out of that. I certainly did. And, I'm being the vehicle for everyone else. So I'm very grateful for that, Barry.
You're welcome.
Definitely.
And just a
Definitely.
reminder, people, there is that offer of the people of the Glass
Yes.
Ceiling Breakthrough Program with Glass Ceiling Gift. And if you want to step into the rabbit hole and really drop into this, have a look at the Life Vision Mentoring, because I really recommend that for everyone as well.
So, yes. So thank you again, Barry. I mean, it's even if it starts people really thinking on a much deeper level about looking at their finances or what their beliefs are around everything, I know it starts the ball rolling, and hopefully they'll come and see you on your page or wherever. And Susan's saying thank you. And yeah, it's been wonderful. It's gone so fast. I can't believe how
It has
fast it's
gone.
gone. It's just flown. And so maybe we'll have to have you back for another one at some stage. That'd be great, because such a powerful medium and the way you do it. So much appreciated, Barry. And to coming in today.
Look, thank you very much. And look, there's a lot there for people, and I'm sure the
Yeah.
replays are there. And I really encourage people,
Yes.
to go over and there is benefit of going over it again and sort of go, oh, now I get why this has come up. And,
Yeah.
we're clearing a lot today. You're not expected to work it all out straight away. But I really love what you did, Tebeth, with each one. You feel into it. You may not know intellectually why that's different, but you can actually feel the shift that's actually occurring. And that's great
Yeah.
to see.
That's the most important thing. And I think for people, they can watch the video, the replay a number of times to go through, to get that as well, and probably feel it more each time. I'm sure it's certainly,
Totally.
it works on all those levels. It's not just an intellectual level. It, clearing the light body energetically, yeah, it really just, it's a huge difference. So that was fun.
Excellent. You're welcome.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And to everyone that's here today, and thank you for your support. And just seeing you again in a fortnight. And thanks again, Barry. That was great. All
Thanks,
right.
Tebeth. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. We'll see you another time.